Good evening, Bulldog fans, and welcome into the Coach's Show. I am your host, TJ Vickers. Joining alongside me, as always, is Coach Hall. Coach, we went over to Madison County. They are the reigning state champions and a very tough environment nonetheless, too. We were hanging with them pretty good early. It was a 14-14 game, but they did come away with the 49-14 win last Friday night. Coach, what was your overall takeaway from last Friday night game?
Saw improvement, which is, you know, when you're going through, trying to get over the hump and win a ball game, you want to find the things that you're doing well. And so I saw improvement up front in the first half, offensive line. I think we're starting to get an early rhythm, but now we've got to do this thing for 4 quarters. But I did like some of the things that we did offensively early. Again, like I said, it was a 14-14 game. Um, Thomas Sykes, I thought, threw the ball really well. I thought Lujack ran the ball well. So we're doing some things early that allow us to stay in the game. And if we can continue those things, we're going to win these games. But with Madison, like you can't give them you can't give them anything. And I thought our first touchdown that we gave up in third, you know, third and long, and we missed 3 or 4 tackles, and he takes it to the house. Like, we've got to make those tackles. Like, there's no other way to put it. We got to make those tackles, make them punt. And so now we start. The confidence is growing. We get the ball, we get on a score again. Now we got a lead. But no, we give that big play up. We give the we get a bad snap on punt. Now, granted, just because that bad snap, we've still got to go out and get them stopped defensively. That punt has nothing to
Sure.
do with what we do defensively. And so we continue to struggle in the second quarter. We've got to figure out why we're struggling there. Because back-to-back weeks now, we're really the first 3 weeks of the season, we have struggled in that second quarter and put ourselves in a bigger hole than we should.
We're starting to string together, better stretches where it seems like, okay, we're getting it going. For all three games, for what it's worth, Coach, we were the first one to get on the scoreboard,
Yeah,
and this past Friday night was no different versus Madison County. So really, like you look at maybe that first 18 minutes or so, and it's a 14-14 ball game. And just in your mind, what was working so well for the team at that point in time?
yeah, we got a good rhythm. We were balanced early. We were completing some quick game that we had focused on throughout the week. Offensive line was creating some good pass for Lou Jack. So, we drove right down the field. Thomas made a great throw to Ty. And, as you said, that's 3 weeks in a row where we've scored first. So again, those are the things that you want to continue to do well and build off of those. But just defensively, man, we're not very good right now. And we have capable, talented players. Um, but we've got to be more willing when it comes to the run stopping and coming up and making tackles. We got to play lower and more physical up front. But granted, all this starts with me and getting these guys better prepared going into the game defensively. But at some point, we've got to start getting stops. We're giving up a very large amount of points, about 42 points a game, if I'm correct. And we've got to do better. I mean, we can't be in the game 14-14 and then they run off 35 straight points. Like we've got to have more pride and want to defensively. And again, the talent, the ability is there, but our want to and our playmaking on game days has to be better.
Walk us through game prep, kind of getting everything. We know we hear so much about the script of the game, how many plays are scripted out from the very beginning, but quite clearly, whatever we had the game plan initially going into the Madison County game, first drive looked absolutely beautiful. So what goes with Coach Gaddy and the rest of the offensive staff going into a script?
Yeah, so starts Saturday. Once you get your film exchange, you start breaking down and looking what they do defensively, looking at the looks you're going to get against certain formations, and then you start the game plan, you start the scheme. And I thought we had a really good plan going in. Again, as you saw right down, early on, we drove right down the field. The biggest thing is Madison. You've got to get the ball out quick because their defensive line is really talented. Linebackers, you're going to get pressure, so you don't have time to really sit back and go to from your first read to your second, third, fourth. Like you see it, you get rid of it and go. And we're able to do that first drive. Um, then we respond again and we get the second score. So what we did throughout the week offensively which we didn't necessarily add a ton. We added some tempo that I thought worked well. We did some hard count that worked well
Yep.
for us. So again, those are some good signs that we're seeing offensively. So we want to continue to do those things. Again, the more balanced we can be now. Injuries, kind of hit us this week, so we're gonna have a couple guys that are gonna have to step up in a starting role. But really, it was just a reflection of what we did Monday through Thursday last week. But now we've got to start putting those things together for 4 quarters.
What challenges did Madison bring to you after it's 14-14? Then you mentioned it, 35 straight points. What challenges did they bring defensively that we just couldn't quite overcome?
You talking about from their
Yeah,
their
yeah,
standpoint defensively?
yes.
Well, once you start giving up big plays and just getting gashed, from our standpoint on the defensive side, and now they start getting a lead. And so now mentally is when you become very challenged when you play Madison. That's what we talked about after practice. Watching the Bills Ravens game last night. Buffalo's down 15 with,
Yep.
5, 6 minutes left in the game. Baltimore was all in control of the game, but they never panicked, they never flinched. They continued to play the game. Somebody had to make a play to get the ball back. They did that. They get another stop. And so what we've got to get to the point, whether it's a bad play in special teams or whatever the case may be, when we get down a possession, we get down 2 possessions, like that's still a ball game. Like there's a whole half to play. But just based off of how we have handled being down, 2 scores, it's almost like we panic and we think, oh, we can't come like the game's over. And so that's where, the maturity and the leadership and guys that have been through it, like they've got to step up in the front of, hey man, look, like let's keep playing. Like we've got to hear them, we've got to see them out on the field, continue to play hard. But I just think mentally we get defeated very easily, and we've got to overcome that. Like until we figure out how to do that, we're going to struggle to win games. But again, the ability to do that is there. It's in the mix. These kids can do it, and I believe they would do it. But we've got to start doing that sooner rather than later.
Speaking of our defense, Madison has speed and depth to kind of wear down some teams. And this past Friday night, it certainly happened for us. Just talk about the challenges that they bring to you as a defensive staff.
Yeah, I mean they're just very physical across the board. They're running backs. They have some Division I players uh, on their team that are just very athletic and up front. They're physical. They're going to give you some unbalanced sets and some single wing looks. I thought we had a good plan going in. Again, that first drive, we had them third and long,
Mhm.
and we missed 4 or 5 tackles. So the thing with Madison, like you've got to bring the physicality to them. Like if you sit back on your heels and wait, they're just going to get stronger and stronger. And then we gave them a short field a couple times. Special teams, punt, kickoff. Um, did we have a turnover? Um, film.
Let's see. Yeah, they lost one fumble. Yep.
Yeah. So you can't do Madison any favors and give them anything to build off of because the thing that Madison does so well, like they capitalize off of your mistakes. They've always done that. They're very well at that. So we gifted them too many things. We give them short fields, and then just physically, we didn't show up in the run game as well as we needed to. We still have some of these young guys, especially at linebacker, that are still figuring out how to play the game. And with Madison, if you get your eyes looking where they shouldn't be, like you're going to be going the opposite way. Ball's going here, and before you know it, they're in the end zone. So Madison is a team that your eye discipline has to be very consistent and disciplined, and we just didn't do that very well.
What was your message to the guys after the game?
Have to keep playing. Um, you know, there's no time to feel sorry or drop your head. Like you just got to keep playing. The good thing about you know the stretch we have been through, it's been 3 good teams. I mean, all those they're going to be playoff teams. Those 3 teams aren't going to lose many games. Madison's probably going to be in the state championship at least, if not win it all. Lafayette's going to be a playoff team. Columbia's playing well. So we and Bishop Kenny going back to the Classic, they're playing very well. So we've seen 4 really good teams, and they do a variety of different things and scheme differently. Um, so it's not like we've just been playing bad teams. Like these are good teams. And so using what we have gone through, in all reality, everything is still in front of us. District plays, like, you look at this next 3-week stretch, we win these next 3, we go into the bye week. Like, your mentality is completely changed. Like, this will be a distant memory, honestly, if we can find a way to win these next 3, and 2 of those are district games. So everything is out there for us. I mean, this is a game that we've got to take. We've got to, we got to find a way to get 1-0 in the district. But everything in all reality is still in front of us, and we can accomplish everything that we want to accomplish.
You've had a chance to look at the game film, think about the Madison game a little bit. What's some of the biggest points of emphasis that you have seen from the Madison game and reviewing the film that you want to take over to this next week and the rest of the season?
Big plays, especially in the running game. Gabi is a team that they throw it very well, but they want to establish the run. So we've got to somehow make those guys one-dimensional. They don't have the running threat at quarterback like we've seen so far with Madison and Columbia and Lafayette. So big plays has just been something that has just hampered us defensively. Um, and then defensively, again, we've seen physically talented defenses. We've seen good D lines. We've seen athletic guys on the back end. So, man, just really taking what we have been through, learning from your mistakes, cleaning those things up, continue to press. And here's the thing: you have to continue to play hard when you're struggling. If you start quitting and you start half effort, you start losing your focus, then you're just going to struggle and you're not going to get better. We have to continue to get better through the struggle, and we're going to come out on the other end. But again, man, we're at home the next 3 weeks. If if the bad taste that the gobby games left in our mouth last year, like if that doesn't get your focus Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and go out and beat them jokers Friday night. I mean, like I love the opportunity that we have with the adversity we've been through, with the opportunity to show up and win a big game.
Well, Coach, tough loss one, a tough loss last Friday night, but plenty of lessons to take away from it. We're going to shift gears now and head into next week's game. We're going to take a quick commercial break. On the other side of that, we're going to talk about our first district matchup versus the Godby Cougars.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Van Carpet One. For 78 years, we've been your local family-owned and operated floor covering store, and we can't wait to serve you. Let's go check out some of the stuff we've got and say hey to the guys.
Hey guys, this is Michael Van here at Van Carpet One. Wanted to show you our huge display of carpet. Got about 1,000 rolls for you that we can order. We also keep about 100 in stock that are on clearance, so please come down and give us a visit. We appreciate it.
Come in and see the largest tile collection in North Florida. Van Carpet One has every tile you could possibly imagine. If you can't find it here, they don't make it. Guys, take a look at this. This is just some of our options in waterproof vinyl plank, where we have the largest selection anywhere around here, including over 70 pallets in stock, ready to go right now. Come in and see our fantastic selection of elegant hardwood too, followed up by fantastic service that you expect from a company like Van Carpet One.
Come on in and see us.
We can't wait to serve you. And that's a boom shakalak.
No matter what's around the corner, we'll be there. That's why Farm Bureau Insurance has been a trusted name for over 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
Local people, great rates, friendly service. That's the Farm Bureau Insurance promise. Farm Bureau Insurance, serving Florida for over 70 years. In Suwannee County, you'll find Farm Bureau in Branford and in Live Oak. In Branford on Drain Street, phone 935-1274. And in Live Oak on Dowling Avenue, call 362-1274. Farm Bureau Insurance.
And welcome back here to the Coach's Show. Coach, we got a game this Friday night at home. The Bulldogs, we will welcome the Godby Cougars. I always catch myself saying welcome. I don't think we ever welcome anyone into the
We don't need to
doghouse.
be nice this week.
We let the visitors sideline open and then whatever.
Yeah.
So we don't welcome them, but
Nope.
they are coming nonetheless. A district
We're gonna let 'em-
opponent, a team that unfortunately had a very tough ending to our season last year, and it was at the hands of them not to bring that back up. Coach, don't want to stir any memories of that.
Hey,
But nonetheless, that was a huge game to end last year, and this is a huge game to start district run this year. Last year, that has to bring a little extra motivation to this game, right?
I mean,
I would hope so.
I would think so. If you have any competitiveness in you, then you've just got to be chopping at the bits. Like this game, hopefully has been one that's just been circled, and you've been looking forward to. And you know what? Just looking at our district, like our district is wide open. We're the first district game. So I told our game guys after the game Friday, like we get a chance to get in the driver's seat in week 4 in the district. Like we win Friday, we control our destiny. We can host playoff games. Like we can do everything that we want to do if we go and take care of business at home this week. And there was a lot of guys that were on the team last year. They saw how we had the game under control the first game in the playoffs, and we let it slip away. We let the big plays get us. We let, guys get behind us, and we didn't capitalize in all 3 phases of the game. So Gabi comes in 0-3. I mean, we're 0-3. So again, this ain't nothing but 2 teams that are very hungry for a win. They want to get 1-0 in the district. So man, I love the setting. I love everything that's led up to this game. Obviously, we don't like to lose, but I love the opportunity that our kids have, or we all have as a program, to go back to Paul Langford, get 1-0 in the district, put ourselves in great position moving forward. So man, it's really, it's set up for the taking. We just got to go do it.
Just a couple desperate teams right there trying to get 1-0. I mean, really, okay, it's 0-3 on the schedule, but 1-0 in that district
That's
column
it.
would go a long
That's the
way. And
way, yeah, absolutely.
it starts this Friday night. And so when you have a game and the other team is just as desperate as you, is just seeking to find a way to get something going for them, just what extra motivation does that bring to the game?
Well, if anything, your focus and your fundamentals are really going to come into play. Gabi is a team that is very explosive in their passing game. Got a really good running back. Um, they kind of went through interesting offseason. They lost a lot of players to Gaston County, and then all that stuff happened with Gaston. Now they got some of those kids back. So they've had an interesting route getting to where they are now. I look at our guys, man. Our guys they've been together, they've stuck together. They're going through this struggle together. So I like that from our standpoint. That man, these guys have been in it. They've worked together all off season, and so now one team's going to be a little bit more hungry than the other. Like one team is going to sell out a little bit more. One team's going to be a little bit mentally tougher and physically tougher, just a little bit longer. So all you just got to be 1 or 2 plays that you do a little bit better than they do. And last year they were better than us on some of the big plays, but man, again, you don't get opportunities like this often to respond in a big way, and we do that. And again, it allows us to one get the confidence. We find a way to win it, and now in our guys' heads, man, all right, so this is what it takes to win. This is what we have to do. And when our group gets that, we're going to do some good things.
You talked about their offense and how explosive they are, and I know looking at just box scores can be a little dangerous sometimes, but
Yeah.
they play some quality opponents, but
Well,
they've
they have.
given up a lot of points with that being said. So what
Yeah.
opportunities does that create for your offense this Friday night?
Yeah, it does. I saw them in person earlier in the year when they played Florida High, and the thing I noticed defensively, like when they're high, they're really high. Like they play with enthusiasm, they play fast, they play physical. Um, they love the big hits, and the big hits get their defense going. But they do miss a lot of tackles, and we've seen kind of that consistent theme through the films that we've broken down. Um, but they do have the guys that they're very athletic up front. Not the biggest group that we've seen, but they can get pressure on the quarterback. On the back end, fly around and they can make plays in the air. So they're a team that kind of rides on the emotions where, when they're high, they're playing well. And you don't want to allow, and that's what we did last year. We had a chance to go up 14-0 the first week over there, and we didn't. And then they got back in the game, and then it was you let those guys hang around, and bad things happen. So when we get up, like we've got to stay up, and we've got to take control of the game. We got to just squeeze the daggone life out of them and the confidence out of them. And so that's the thing with a team like Gabi. You can't give them any momentum because they play very well off of that.
District opener, every play can feel magnified. What is the biggest key takeaway, or I'm sorry, what is the biggest keys for your team to come out on top this Friday?
got to pressure the quarterback, and we've got to create turnovers off of him. He's not the best runner. Now, he's a big kid. He's about 6'4", 6'5". His dad played quarterback at FAMU back in right around the time I was in college. So he's very talented. He was at Gaston County last year, so he knows how to win games. He's got a good group of receivers around him. The Simmons kid, number one, probably the best receiver that we'll see all year. I mean, he's a big time receiver. Can make just the acrobatic catches look very easy. Um, and he's always like they don't necessarily force him the ball, but they do a good job of just when you least expect it, or you fall asleep, or you lose eye discipline, they get in the ball in space, and they can do some dangerous things. But um, you know, big plays, getting after the quarterback. Again, I keep talking about special teams. Like we've got to be so much better than we've been, especially how much time that we put into it. Um, and that'll be big because special teams last year we had a bad snap, we had a botched punt, so like we've got to execute in that phase.
Well, that kind of leads me right into my next question. The importance of limiting mistakes, especially
Yeah,
now that we're into district play. A couple
yeah,
mistakes here and there that could be the changing of the game right there. So, how much emphasis are you putting this week on just execution and discipline as we open district play?
yeah, man, that's huge. And the bigger the game, the more that those things are highlighted. I told our guys before we played Madison Friday, every touchdown that we had given up through Columbia and Lafayette came off of our mistakes and us not doing our job. So if we're where we're supposed to be and we're doing our job and we have 11 guys doing their job, then this group is going to be a good defense. But we've just yet to consistently do that. And then we give up these big plays. So it really starts with us doing our job, play after play after play. Now they're good. They may get a big play, they may get a big score, but we've got to come back. We've got to be better in the sudden change. So if we have a turnover offensively, or if we have you know whatever case in special teams, and we got to get back out on the field defensively, man, don't let them score. Like it doesn't matter how we get back on the field defensively, but we got a chance to stop them.
It's probably been a little bit earlier than you wanted to, but a lot of these young guys,
Ooh,
through some injuries, they've gotten some reps in, coach, and
yeah.
we're 3 games in. So how valuable is that experience now as we turn the page and start looking at some district play?
Yeah, it's going to show up. Just looking defensively, we're out with three of our top returning corners. Freddie Cooks is out for the year. Kyle Brown is out right now with a hamstring. Jamarcus Cherry is going to be out this week. But the good thing, some of these younger guys have been playing. Some of them started, so they've had good experience these first 3 weeks. But now this will be the biggest stage because this one counts. Like it legit counts more than those other games from the district standings, playoff, home playoff game. Like there's a lot that rides on this game. But for those guys, man, they just got to go out and do their job. Like you do your job and you do it at a very high level and you give very great effort, then we're going to be in great shape. Great shape. Um, but the mistakes and the gimmies that we've been helping the other team with, like we have to eliminate those, especially in a game like this.
In a weird way, coach, it's almost like, hey, this is a brand new season.
It is.
We can't change what has happened in the past, okay? But this is a brand new start to the year with districts kicking off right now. So, what is your message to the team about the significance of this week and trying to start fresh?
It is. And again, we've been here before, and some of these guys have been here before. We started, with a rough start last year. And then we go into Gabi, and man, we had guys out. It's very eerie, similar to last year because we were banged up at running back. We had some starters out. Um, Kind of the situation this year at the running back position, but we're getting some guys back. T-Fed's going to be back full strength. Hopefully, Kyler Watson's back. Jadace Jones is back. So like the pieces are there. Um, so man, just again, what you've been through, nobody feels sorry for you. Like Gabi doesn't care that we're 0-3. We don't care if they're 0-3. Baker County, they're 1-2. Wakulla, they're 1-2. So nobody in our district is playing very well right now, and it doesn't matter. Like these district games is what really matters in the big scheme of things. Those non-conference games, yes, they're important and they can help towards your your playoff ranking and seeding. But man, the district that's where it's at, and ours is wide open, just like it was last year.
Coach, I know Frank Allen is on your defensive staff as you know the linebackers coach, and he's also the athletic director. I would like to look at your contract because somewhere in there it seems like we have to have questionable linebacker depth due to injuries, unfortunately, and we can't have both Watsons healthy.
No,
Somewhere in your contract
I know
that's
it's
wrote
crazy.
in there, and we got to get rid of that.
I know. Well, I think we'll have both the Watsons full go this week. T-Fed will be full go. Um, Now we're still, Josh Johnson. Speaking of the linebackers, he has progressively gotten better since Bishop Kenny. His confidence, his physicality, his effort, he continues to improve. Rojas is continuing to learn. Lynn Blade was a little banged up, but he's back healthy. Young Hagedorn is going to be a good linebacker. So those guys, they're getting better. And that again, that's what you want to see when you're going through struggle. Is guys continuing to get after and get themselves better. So I look for that group to have a very big game this week. Um, Again, there's nothing outside of the Simmons kid, which again I think he's the best receiver. I mean, we've seen good receivers too. Columbia, we saw a lot of
Sure.
with those guys there. Um, but man, these guys, there's nothing that we really haven't seen already. So man, just go out and have fun, do your job. The past does not matter. Like it really doesn't. I mean, you don't want to be on 3, but there's nothing you can do about that. You get to control this next phase of the season, and if we can get on a roll here, watch out.
And it's, with some of those inexperienced guys, just the value you cannot overemphasize the value of reps so
No,
much.
you can't.
So much of it is just okay, read and react,
Yep.
and not so if you're thinking you're kind of already behind the 8 ball at that point in time. And
Yep.
some of that just comes with being out there and having real life experience.
It does. Practice is one thing, and that's great, but you've got to get game reps. Um, and so some of these kids have even been getting the 6th quarter where they get some
Mhm.
JV reps, just continuing to learn their position, learn their craft. And then Friday nights they're getting reps. Some have played a little bit more special teams. Some of these guys these young guys are now in starting positions, so the reps are invaluable. And so now you just hope that their confidence continues to grow. They understand their assignments and discipline, where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there, how they're supposed to do it. Um, but I'm excited about these sophomores that are continuing to get better, and look forward to make some big plays this Friday.
Well, you touched on it a little bit, coach, and the 6 quarter rule. That's something that always it fascinates me every year. So I
Yeah.
wonder with you as a coaching staff, of course, you're looking at your roster every year, and it's going to change. It's going to be a little bit different year in and year out. So I'm sure your approach to the 6 quarter rule kind of fluctuates based upon what you're working
Yeah.
with, and so I guess you go into summer or whatever that might look like at the beginning of the season. So you kind of see what you've got going on. Do you start formulating then, like, okay, this is probably a 6 quarter guy.
Oh yeah.
This is how, this is going to be, 2 quarters with us on varsity and then the 4 quarter experience on the JV side. So how exactly do you guys manage that?
Yeah. So once you get to about mid-July, and as you start winding the summer down, we start having those conversations. All right, we've seen spring, we've seen summer. This guy, he's full varsity. We've got to have him. This guy, he needs to develop more and he needs full 4 quarters on JV. Well, this guy, let's get him 2 or 3 quarters JV, and then he can be, a special team starter, play up in backup role on offense or defense. So you have that initial plan going in, but then once the season starts, once injuries start taking
Hmm.
place, now everything shifts. So last week, I believe it was Rojas because he had gotten some reps the previous week on JV. Well, then going into last week, he was going to be a starter. So he's no longer, getting those JV reps. We can't afford an injury, anything like that. And so now, and this is one thing we do every Sunday. One of the first things we do, we go over injuries. We go over 6 quarter guys. All right, who can play, who can't play, who we traveling. So like with Darius Cray, he's going to be one this week with Jamarcus Cherry out. He's going to be full-time varsity this week. So again, it's really a week-to-week thing. Injuries always affect that, but the good part, we've had a lot of these sophomores be able to get some quality reps on Thursday night, and then come and give us the same thing on Friday.
And that certainly helps a smaller squad. Like, of course we want to have the deepest and the longest list of rosters we could have, but
Right.
realistically, we know we can't work with that. We know
Yeah.
that's not realistic for the most part. So that 6-quarter rule, I think, really helps rural counties like us.
Yeah, no, I love the rule, and I think everybody across the state, like I said, especially in the rural areas, they're a fan of it because you got to have depth at some point, and so those young guys give you that depth. I believe in Georgia, if they just play special teams, I don't think it like their 6-quarter rule is a little bit different than ours, but we tag it going in. All right, he's first 2 quarters, and then we're getting him out.
Mhm.
Or we may play a first and a third quarter. So we can finagle how we want to play that 2 quarters. So it's a week to week thing, and this week there won't be many of those 6-quarter guys that are playing on Thursday. Like there's a lot of those guys that are gonna have to be with us Friday.
I wonder, Coach, has there ever been like such an amazing play that you saw from a 6-quarter guy where like you just go down and tap him on the shoulder, be like, "Hey, go ahead and pull him." Like that's enough. We've seen that. That's the rep we need right there. Like he's a 4-quarter guy for us now.
Well, that's what you look for. Like, and I tell these guys, whether it's a scout team, whether it's your JV play, but like go and open somebody's eyes.
Mhm.
Go make a tremendous play. Go give a great effort. And you want more playing time, like that's a way to do it. So yeah, there's been occasions where somebody pops on a Thursday, or even a scout team. Okay, let's look at him a little bit more. He may be able to help us give some depth. Like Shane Wright, he's one of our freshmen. Going into the year, like he was a JV kid, but then that first the kickoff classic, man, he popped. Like he started doing some things in pass rush, had a couple sacks and tackles for loss, and so now he's become a 6-quarter and really a 4 varsity, 2 JV guy. So yeah, that's the opportunity that you have with the 6-quarter rule.
Well, and so much of like the 6-quarter rule to me, and it used to be preseason game 4 for the NFL,
Yeah.
but now it's preseason game 3. Like you don't see a lot of the established players out there really at all sometimes now for preseason, but especially that final preseason game where okay, you're out here to make 1 or 2 plays and then be one of those 53 men on the roster at the end of the day. And really, like you just kind of said, Coach, hey, show me something.
Yeah.
That's it. This is an opportunity. Show me something.
That is, and that's just the competitive nature of sports and of football. You want to get on the field, then go get on the field. Like nobody's stopping you from getting on the field. Like we want to play the best guys, and we're going to find a way to get those guys on the field. So the excuse of coach don't like me, or no, everybody's got a shot. Like I love all of them. Like ain't none of my kids, and even if it was my kids, like they still got to earn it. Like that's the only way that you can become the best player that you can be and the best team that you can be is when you have that competitive nature about practice and about positions. I mean, go get on the field. Like just go get on the field. Find a way to get it done.
Plenty more coming up here on the Coaches Show. For now, let's get into our Bulldog Bark and our player spotlight.
Hi, I'm Keith Hunter, and this is the Bulldog Bark. And joining me today, I've got Coach Gaddy.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man? What's your first name, Coach?
Joseph.
Coach Joseph Gaddy.
That's it.
From the class of 2004.
2004, right here, Swanee High grad, proud grad.
Man, I'm a proud grad too, and I finished 20 years before you even thought about.
You finished 2 years before I was probably thought about. So.
Wow, now that's
you still look great though.
Like thank you.
I'm 20 years from now. I hope I look that good.
Okay,
you got way more hair than I do. So.
I hear you. Well, again, I'll call some names, and you'll probably recognize these names.
Okay.
Gary Caldwell.
That's right.
The late Steve Self.
That's right.
Steve was my classmate and probably one of my best friends I ever had.
Oh wow, awesome.
Yeah, so that was the class when I
got
was
you.
here in '84.
Yeah, Gary Caldwell was a dean when I was at Swanee Middle School. Was terrified of Mr. Caldwell.
Yeah, no, he's class of '85, but I figured you would know him
for sure.
Alan Bonds.
That's right, AB.
Yeah, class of '85 as well.
That's right.
I played baseball with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Great player. Great player.
Great guy. Great guy.
Yes. Well, anyway, let's move. We're talking about you today.
Okay.
All right. Now, Coach Gaddy, you told me, and again, you graduated in 2004.
I did. Yep.
You had the You played with Coach Walls for 4 years.
I did.
And before you came to the Dogs, you played with Coach Robinson at the middle school.
That's right, Danny Robinson. 2 head coaches across that time. The consistency of that was huge for the program, and you saw the success then.
Right, right. You know, you brought something to my attention when you talked about Coach Robinson. Man,
Yeah.
Coach Robinson, man, he coached almost everybody that Coach Pittman coached.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you saw that the impact of Coach Pittman on Coach Robinson, it was a good transition, right? Like, so he got to get that next generation, got to see got to get the Pittman, treatment, but from Coach Robinson. It was good.
Man, he should have bought Coach Robinson a turkey every Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Yeah, but that's 2 good coaches there, man. I tell you. And
Great coaches.
Then Coach Walls. I mean, man, Coach Walls was he came in Swanee, Pittman 4 years in a row. Then we had a little down with
That's right.
trend, and then Coach Walls took them back to the state championship.
That's right. Yeah.
I always say, man, that was one of the greatest performances. 'Cause I think wasn't Peter Hahn the quarterback then?
That's right, P. Hahn, yeah.
P. Hahn. I think that was one of the greatest coaching jobs. I'm not gonna get me wrong. Now Peter was a good player.
No doubt.
And I played with Pete's brother.
Okay. Yeah.
Brant, I think Brant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my. He was 85, but I played with him.
Okay.
Yeah. So that just gives you, just telling you just a little perspective as far as the 20
No
years.
doubt. But Pete was hard nosed. I just remember watching him from the quarterback position. Like he played it like a fullback.
Right.
Right. Like he would come downhill. But just to take that from the quarterback position, for sure, it was a great coaching job.
Great coaching job and great accomplishment on Pete's part as well.
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, so kind of like Jim McMahon used to play for the Bears.
Absolutely.
They had that linebacker mentality.
No doubt. No doubt. You saw that.
Right. Now, what kind of mentality did you play with?
So I was a technician. I was never the strongest, never the most athletic, but I love ball.
Right.
Like, and I think that led into me becoming a coach. I knew by the time I was in 10th grade, that's what I wanted to do, was become a coach. Because I had some great coaching influences. Coach Ron Hall,
right?
He was influential in my life, and Jay Walls as well. So that I kind of played with that mentality. Like I was a coach on the field.
Right.
I knew what we were doing, and it kind of made up for maybe some of my shortcomings in other areas.
Right, right. So like I say, you're a technician.
That's right. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Now, when you coach with that same approach?
Absolutely. Like we're gonna have a plan, a very, very technical approach to it. I mean, I know the Lord has blessed me with the ability to encourage.
Right.
So that's what I do. Got to bring the juice every day.
Right. I got you now. You mean just legal juice now? Right?
Yeah. Not that juice.
No, I'm just kidding.
The juice.
Right.
Yeah.
I got you. And like I say, just being that's the fun part with the X's and O's.
Absolutely.
Right. And then you playing with a good coach. How does it feel when you're playing against another guy across the field that is also a technician?
It's fun, man, because you got to try to find like if I know week 8, I've got somebody coming up that I know is I may run something week 4 that he sees.
Right.
That I'm like, guys, we may get 2 yards on this, but I need him to see it.
Now, I got another question for you right here. Because sometimes you're coaching against the coach.
Yep.
But then sometimes you're coaching against the coach's players.
That's right, Jimmy's and Joe's. That's what I coached. I coached at Madison. Don't hold it against me for a couple years. Won the state championship over there.
Right.
But Coach Cole used to always say, "Dudes and ducks."
Right.
And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get our dudes on their ducks.
Right.
Right. So it's all about matchups. At the end of the day, they say Jimmy's and Joe's.
You guys are running what type of offense?
I guess you could say spread. We're a little more pro style right now currently with our quarterback Thomas Sykes. He's you talk about technician, like he's a coach on the field for us.
Right.
So I'm able to put a lot of things on his plate. And we're a lot of people don't do this anymore. We huddle up. He commands the huddle. I signal it to him. He gets it and gets us. He's got checks that are built in.
Right.
He's able to do it. So having someone like that allows us to do more, because if he can get it, everybody else can get it because he'll delineate it out.
I'm gonna tell you, and I'm just not tooting my horn, but I remember I played in 10th grade.
Yeah.
And Coach Cato, Coach Barney Cato.
Oh, Coach Cato, yeah.
Coach Cato was my coach. Coach Cato used to just give me the formations and catfish. Go ahead and call the play.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he had that much belief in me. And Coach Harris, the late Coach Harris.
Okay, yeah.
Chip Harris.
Yep.
Coach Harris was my quarterback coach. This was 10th grade.
All right.
And Coach Cato, they pretty much just gave us the playbook.
No doubt.
Right.
And said, go for it.
Go for it. Right.
Yep.
But let me ask you this though. Are you a coach who adjusts to your personnel on the field, or do you make your personnel adjust to the coach in the box?
Yeah, so I'm 100%. I adjust to our personnel, who we have. So like right now, we've got Thomas at quarterback. He's a little more pro style. So we have more of a vertical passing game, more complicated routes in the route tree that he's able to do. Where if we had my first year here, we had like Cody Lang at quarterback. He's an athlete. We're running more read game, more quarterback specific stuff. So it's again, we don't get to draft for who we want. So it's whoever comes in, we have to fit it. And I know once Thomas graduates, or if Thomas isn't in the game, we look different. And just understanding and building out packages where if he's out and we've got somebody else in, they're comfortable as well.
That's pretty much the definition of a coach, right?
That's right.
That's
yep.
right. All right. Well, Coach, speaking of Coach, I want to thank you for joining me.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
Bar. Man, look at you. You're making me feel old, man.
No, it's good. You look great. You look great,
I
man.
appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. But look here, I want to thank you, man, for joining me on the Bulldog Bar.
Absolutely.
And when I watch you guys play, I'm going to say, I saw that strategy. Man.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
A man who coaches the Jimmys and Joes and the X's and O's.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
It's Player Spotlight, Bulldog football here on RiverCountrySports.com. I've got a couple of big dogs with me here, Colton Hagedorn and Reese Bronson. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
Yeah? No complaints? Hadn't been hot?
No, sir. No complaints.
Yeah, no complaints.
Really?
Sir.
It's been pretty hot and humid.
Yeah. But
that didn't bother you guys?
Hey, when you live in Florida for so long, you get used to it.
Kind of used to it?
Yes, sir.
This is going to be your senior season.
Yes, sir.
So, that's special. It's your last time around with Swanee football, so hopefully we can make this year special. Do you feel like this is going to be one of those years?
Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah?
100%.
It all starts up front. I mean, the other guys get the credit because they cross that goal line, make catches and everything, but without you guys up front, nothing works. So what do we look like on the offensive and defensive lines?
I think we've been working since freshman year, and we're all, like, together now, so I think we're going to be the best we can be this year.
Yeah.
We have a ton of depth, and a lot of our offensive line and defensive line are seniors, so that helps a lot as well.
You feel like you have more depth this year and more pieces to the puzzle?
Yes, sir, for sure. As well as people that, understand the assignments and, can actually play.
What have you guys been doing in the weight room? Have you received, personal best or anything? I mean, how's that look?
Oh, yeah, we've been hitting PRs all off season. We've been going crazy in the weight room.
Yeah. Yeah, you feel strong?
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing that Swanee always seems like when we go up against, I don't care who it is, seems like we're always undersized.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Not that we don't hold our own. I don't mean for you to take it that way, but it seems like when we play, it just seems like we're looking at bigger linemen. Does that bother you guys? Is it a challenge?
No, I think that we might not have the size, but I know we have the strength and the speed. So when we go against bigger players, I think it makes us like have a better headspace and to go into the game more prepared.
You concur?
Same thing, when you're smaller, you got to be stronger and faster than the dude across from you. So also it makes you play with a chip on your shoulder a little bit. So.
And you get that leverage,
Yes, sir.
Technique and everything. What do you prefer? I'm going to start with Colton. What do you prefer, offense or defense? If you had to choose.
Probably offense.
You think?
Yeah, because I've been playing it longer.
Okay.
Same here. I've been playing it since freshman year, so I enjoy offense more.
Is it because you know the play instead of, attacking the defense? You don't know what's going on? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the people that I'm lined up with, I've been playing with for more than 2 years, 3 years. So I think we've just came together closer, so that makes me enjoy it more.
Yeah, it's great to watch when everything goes as planned. When that pulling guard comes out, that hole opens up. I mean, and your running back gets big yards, picks up a first down. And then when the play doesn't work, it's a completely different thing. But it's a beautiful thing when it does work. Would you prefer run blocking or pass blocking if you had to choose?
I think I like pass blocking better.
Okay. Run, for sure. I love pulling.
You'd rather knock some people down?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And you'd rather just get back in your stands and keep people off your quarterback?
Yeah, like that.
Well, both are important, no doubt about it.
Yes, sir.
All right, so senior years, what does it look like academically for you guys? Light schedules this year? Or?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I have a light schedule. I'm just getting the classes I need to get for college.
Okay, all right. And if you're looking at going on to college?
Yes, sir.
What are you thinking of studying? What's going to be your major, in other words? Do you know at this point?
Maybe business.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. What about your academics and looking forward?
Yeah, I think I have a pretty light schedule this year. I don't think I'm gonna have too many like core classes.
I know in my senior year, I took a lot of classes and got them out of the way, and I had 3 classes senior year, and it was a breeze.
That's how I'm hoping mine's gonna go.
Yeah. Are you looking to go on to college, or have you thought about that?
Kind of. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, but I kind of want to go into firefighting school. So.
Okay. That's a great profession.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we need firefighters for sure. All right. What are you looking forward to most this season? Is there any particular team or matchup that you guys are kind of eyeing? Like anybody, I'd like to beat Madison if you don't mind. I'd like to beat Godby.
Godby.
We got to get that
there
back.
There are 2 games that I can't get over from last year, and they were both against Godby.
Mm-hmm.
So, and, I'm not saying it's a revenge tour, but I'd like to see us get a little revenge.
Yeah, it's about time we did.
I would call it that.
Okay. Well, as far as off the field, you guys doing anything special this year? You got girls? What's going on in your personal lives?
Not really, just football. I mean, just.
I like that focus.
Yeah.
I like that. You got plenty of time for girls.
Yeah, same here. Just focusing on getting stronger, football, all that.
Hey, I appreciate your time. Before I let you go, anybody you want to shout out to might be watching the stream tonight?
My family, my dad, my grandparents. Just.
My entire family, mom, dad, love y'all.
All right, go Dogs. Colton, Reese, appreciate you guys. Good
Thank
luck
you.
this year.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
And welcome back here to the Coach Show. I'm TJ Vickers, your host. Joining alongside me, as always, is the chicken tender Hardy's man himself, Coach Hall.
I'm back.
You love those long breaks because you get a chance to, and we've been doing this for a while now. So it's normally just, hey, get a couple bites here and there, and then wipe the crumbs off your mouth. Now that we're on television, and then we get back to it. But now you're like, I can sit down. I look at my phone a little bit. I can eat some chicken tenders.
Remember before the live broadcast, man, we used to be lounging.
Man, we was in a dungeon back there in the corner.
We'd be kicked back. We got the spread all on the table, on the chair. We got the honey mustard out.
Well, because Coach Hall's always got some kind of new ailment. He gives the injury report on his players, but he doesn't give an injury report on himself. So there were chairs that were propped up a certain way, calves were being stretched, hamstrings were being stretched, and now we got to look sharp, look presentable. Got to make sure we got good posture.
Look sharp. I need to sit up a little bit.
We do what we can, and sometimes we do it well, sometimes we don't do it so well. Coach, something I was actually thinking about this past weekend with NFL starting. Travis Hunter kind of making history, modern day history, trying to play on both sides of the ball. He didn't play very much on the defensive side of the ball. Head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Liam Cohen, said afterwards that he didn't have a lot of practice, and there was just some things that the Carolina Panthers presented that he just kind of left alone. So I'm just kind of wondering, that's always a high school thing for sure. You want your starting 11 to, you want your best 11 to be out there for you.
Yep.
And then you do see it a little bit in college. Your alma mater had one of the best of all time to do it, Deion Sanders. But as a coach, what goes into trying to make the most of that young man's time? Because he doesn't really have an off moment. So like when someone should be on the sideline getting coached up for their side of the ball, he's out there making plays. So what goes into trying to balance all that?
Well, at the high school level, unless you're just at a bigger program where you can 2 platoon and everybody plays one position, one side of the ball, most smaller schools, rural towns, guys are going to be going both ways, the majority of the time. If you for our offensive lines, some of those guys are just offensive lines. So we've got maybe 5 or 6 on each side where that's where they play. But traditionally, just speaking of Swanee, we've always had guys that have gone both sides of the ball, special teams, So in practice, and coaches do it differently. Some guys have an offensive specific day, and then they switch the next day. Some teams get a little bit of both each day, which is kind of more of what we do. You'll get your offensive work, your defensive work, um, and then there's some guys that just are naturally very gifted. So like Jaquez Moore
Mhm.
a few years ago, when he was playing quarterback his senior year. So the majority of his practice was spent at quarterback.
Yep.
And then defensively, we knew if we needed to plug him in a corner, safety, like he knew the defense, knew the coverages, and he was a good enough athlete. You could throw him out there, and he's going to go make plays. But you don't get those types that often, so you got to make sure that you give them enough quality reps where they understand the scheme, understand the technique, where they're going to be. And then it gets really challenging when younger guys that are trying to play both ways.
Mhm.
So we try to keep those sophomores, especially unless they're just physically gifted and can get it mentally. We try to keep those guys on one side of the ball if we can. Then as they start to get older and understand the game better, now they can get both sides of the ball.
I mean, because it's got to be challenging with you as a coaching staff, because someone's always wanting to be on his ear. I'm
Oh
sure,
yeah,
like hey, if I'm Gaddy or whoever as the offensive coordinator, I'm probably wanting to share a little bit of information with this young man. But then also, if he's a DB or something like that, Fryer, I'm sure has something to tell him as well, where he's got to be out there. So it's kind of almost maybe a pecking order for, okay, let me get this little piece in.
yeah,
Get, how again balancing not giving him too much and overwhelming him, but
right.
also making sure he is as informed as he can be.
Yeah. So like even in the games, what I'll do, like with a Coy, um, if there's a correction that needed to be made, if there's an offensive timeout, I just come up to him, hey, when we get back on defense,
Mhm,
X, Y, and Z, this is what we're going to do different. Or after he comes off that drive, hey, get you one or two plays,
mhm.
coach him up, send him back out. So you just got to find times throughout, portions of the game, whether it's timeouts, whether, you know, you just give them a rest, but you've got to be creative with it because you want those guys on the field as much as possible. But I don't know today's kids, and I don't think it's just here, but like back in the day, you never thought about like getting tired or like coming off the field. Like this
Mhm.
number here, where you pat your helmet, hey, I'm
Load
tired.
management.
What are you doing? No, you stay on the field. Um, so back in the day, it just seemed like it was. Man, you didn't think about it. Like you didn't want to come off the field. I was able to play both sides of the ball, and most of our guys did. And it was what you did. You didn't think about getting tired. Like you just got yourself in great shape. So I like for our kids to have that mentality where, man, like, let's play. Like I want to be on the field, and then we'll get them. We'll get them off the field when we can. And I always tell our guys, especially special teams, like if you need a rest, I'm gonna get you off on offense or defense. Like if you're on a special team, we need our best, and we need you out there. So that's just kind of how we do it.
Well, I was going to say, Coach, you're just going to tell him to suck it up because you played
That's
all
what I'm saying.
three facets of the game.
I did.
We say all the time you play both sides of the ball. There's a third aspect to
Yeah.
this sport, and you're looking at one of the best punters, maybe the best punter Swanee football has ever had the chance of wearing a helmet on Friday night. So you're like, hey man, Travis Hunter, play both ways. Who cares? I was out there. But you told a story a couple of years ago where I think you had like a pick six or something, and then you had to do kickoff and run the ball down. I forgot exactly. I'm butchering the details right now, but I think you said like you had like a long touchdown pass or like a pick six or something, where then you had to go out there on kickoff and then just get right back out. And then it's just like, I didn't want to necessarily say you're gas, but it's just like, man, I'm the one making all these daggone plays, and here I am back out here right now.
Well, that's
But that's part of the fun, right?
it
That's
is,
got to
man.
be.
Like, yes, you get fatigued, but mentally, once you've got it and you don't even think about it. Like, all right, we just get this long touchdown. We're gonna come back. We're on kickoff. We're on punt. I'm back out on defense. So, like, if what I liked about it, if I had a bad offensive series, I could go out on defense and
And hit somebody.
take it out because you had to have a little bit two different mentalities with offense and defense. But um, yeah, I've just always been the one. If we got to play both sides of the ball and special teams, that's just what we got to do. Like you've got to get yourself mentally where you can handle all that. And a lot of our guys, like Coy, he plays a lot. Ty Moses, you see him on both sides of the ball. I remember, Quez played a ton on both sides.
Sure.
Jay Smith used to Jay Smith never came off the field. Jadarius Cherry played offensive line, defensive line, special teams. Like, man, some of these guys never come off the field and they never complain. But every kid's wired a little bit different. Every kid can't handle that. But when you get those ones that can, they usually turn out pretty good for you.
We're going to take one more quick commercial break, then wrap everything up here on the Coaches Show this week.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Van Carpet One. For 78 years, we've been your local family-owned and operated floor covering store, and we can't wait to serve you. Let's go check out some of the stuff we've got and say hey to the guys.
Hey guys, this is Michael Van here at Van Carpet One. Wanted to show you our huge display of carpet. Got about 1,000 rolls for you that we can order. We also keep about 100 in stock that are on clearance, so please come down and give us a visit. We appreciate it.
Come in and see the largest tile collection in North Florida. Van Carpet One has every tile you could possibly imagine. If you can't find it here, they don't make it. Guys, take a look at this. This is just some of our options in waterproof vinyl plank, where we have the largest selection anywhere around here, including over 70 pallets in stock, ready to go right now. Come in and see our fantastic selection of elegant hardwood too, followed up by fantastic service that you expect from a company like Van Carpet One.
Come on in and see us.
We can't wait to serve you. And that's a boom shakalaka.
No matter what the road ahead brings, we'll be there. That's why Farm Bureau Insurance has been a trusted name for over 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
Local people, great rates, friendly service. That's the Farm Bureau Insurance promise. Farm Bureau Insurance, serving Florida for over 70 years. In Suwannee County, you'll find Farm Bureau in Branford and in Live Oak. In Branford on Drain Street, phone 935-1274. And in Live Oak on Dowling Avenue, call 362-1274. Farm Bureau Insurance.
That'll do it for this week's Coaches Show. Thank you to Coach Kyler Hall for always joining me, and best of luck this upcoming Friday
Thank you,
night,
TJ.
7:30 kickoff, 7 o'clock for the pregame show. A big thank you to our sponsors, and thank you all for watching there at the house. Thank you to Sawyer Brooks and Miss Tammy Neal off camera there, keeping Kyler and I going in the right direction even whenever we go left and
It's
they
a
want
tall
us to go
task.
right. They keep us on our toes, and we certainly do appreciate it, and we need all the help we can get. Just a quick aside note, the Branford High School Coaches Show this week will be Wednesday at 7 p.m. So same time, just a different day. It'll be Wednesday at 7 p.m. Make sure you tune into River Country Sports to watch that. And again, we got a football game this Friday night, 7:30 kickoff, 7 p.m. for the coaches or for the pregame show. For Coach Kyler Hall, I'm